everyone, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home, and as you can see I'm doing a Pinflair project today, the hexagon sewing secret box. My first secret, I don't really sew, so I don't have a need for a sewing box, but I love the style of the box. And you know, if you've done it before, we can do card ones like this where they all flop open. So I thought if I could do a permanent one where I could keep using it, I'm going to go for that. So that's what I'm doing. But as we follow along, I'll tell you what to do for the other bits if you are doing sewing, if you're using material, because I'm using card as well. So that's another difference. I will tell you the different details as you go along. I'm going to do mine with treats in mind to go on every one. And like I said, as I'm going, I will tell you the details of what to do. So let's get going. First part says, so if you're using fabric, it is a little bit different. Not much, but a little bit. So the first bit you need is the base, and I'm going to show you it. This is the not the biggest one. This is the second one down in the picture. Second one down in the picture. I've got the big one already so that I could show you it. So you're going to get a hexagon and all these bits, and all you're going to do is take the shirting and stick all the pieces to the hexagon, just leaving a 2mm gap. As you can see, it's a tiny gap, and that will give you this. And you're going to do that for both sizes. The smaller box is a little different because it's all stuck together already. The difference is that when you are sticking your, okay, so that's the bottom. No, it does go like that. The shirting will be on the inside so that they come up like this. Now when you're doing the material, you want a hexagon that is going to come up, the material is going to come this far. So you want it bigger than the hexagon here, because it's going to act as like little corners that keep it together. Because I'm doing card, we can't exactly do that, so you have to cut it to the right size, like that, and just stick it straight on. And the only way I've done that is by drawing around the hexagon and cutting it out. If I extend this for the card, it's gonna be too much and it won't be able to shut properly. So that's the downside to using card. Obviously you can use napkins or tissue, but the same thing applies. You'll have to just cut round like this. But with material, you're going to make it a little bit bigger, so you've got some little edges there that you can use. Okay, so that's that bit. So as you can see, that will be the finished bit that I've done. So I've chosen pink and green card, and where's all my bits for it? There's the one base. You don't need the other side on this one because it's going to be sticking straight onto there. So you don't need the bottom bit. But for this bit, you do need a bottom piece because it's the outside piece. So that's the biggest bit. This is the next size down. So you need the hexagon that goes in the middle, and then you need all these bits that are going to go like that on the inside and out. So both sides, inside and outside, like that, on all 6 parts. So I'm going to do that now, but obviously I will speed it up a little bit so that we can move on to the next piece. So I like to use these spatulas. You get them from Pinflair, but they're perfect. They come in 3 sizes, so you get the pack of all 3 sizes, like that. But they're perfect, so you got all different sizes compared on the area you got to do. And then I've got the really small ones that you get all the time. So remember, not too much glue. Still same as, actually I'm going to put it into here. Now this is the same for both sizes of hexagon. So you just stick it down. And then we're going to do that for all of these. I'm going to stick this. Like I said, if you're using rice paper or napkins, my advice is paint a bit of gesso on first. Now just go around and do both sides. Okay, so we've done all that one colour. Don't worry if there's bits that need sorting, because we can trim it later and tidy it up. That's not a problem. So as you can see, the next bit would be adding your panels. Now I've done all mine the same. I've done the elastic because that's what I wanted. But as the pamphlet tells you, there are several different ways of doing this. So if you wanted to have pincushions, then, so it says to make the pincushions, take a thin piece of card, so that would be the extra pieces that we're now going to add, like this. So take a thin piece of card, it's a little bit smaller, and then you would add the wadding before you wrap the material round it, so that when you put it down it's got a nice thing for your pincushions. So that's how you do that one. It's fairly straightforward. To make a pocket, use an inner card, and before you stick it down, you'll get the material and wrap it round half, leaving a little bit of a gap so that you can put something in. I'm just reading. Yeah, so that's all it is that you are going to do the material so that it sticks round the card before you stick the card down. And then the other one is the elastic, which is what I've used on every single piece, because I'm going to put treats in there, whether it be craft treats, sweet treats, I don't know, makeup treats, lotions, baths, whatever. But I need it to hold stuff like that. And so I have done all of mine with elastic. This one has come undone. Oh no. So this is the one I was going to show you how to do it. So as you can see, I've cut it just a tiny bit bigger than the actual card. I've got red tape on the back of all of them, And I've done them all a little bit differently. Why have I got two with no elastic? Okay, I'll sort that out after. I'm missing a bit of elastic. And this bit's come off, that's why. Right, I'll sort that out after. So if you get your red tape, what you're going to do, depending what you want, if you want it at the top and bottom, middle, whatever, you will wrap one end where you want it to be stuck. Cut a decent amount, not just a little bit, because I can see what's happened in that one. It's only little bits, wasn't enough to stick it. So, and you're just going to go straight over and stick it down. I'm going to get the other bit ready. Because then you wrap it round and pull a little bit so there's a little bit of tightness, because you don't want it too loose. You want it to be able to hold whatever you're putting in there. And then stick the other end. That's all you're going to do. That bit I'll have to sort out after. And then, like these, you can see what I've done there. I've just stuck them all down on top, and I've done the opposite colour. So I've done that again here. So now it's pink. As you can see, on the back I've done better with the rest. So it's only that one I had little, and I've lost the elastic. I don't know where it's gone. So before you stick it down, you take the red tape off. And then add a bit of glue to each one. Doesn't have to be all over, I guess. Well, yeah, I would. I'd do it corner to corner to make sure it sticks. Even a bit over the tape if you wanted. And then just stick in the centre of that panel, like that. There we go. And you're just going to do that all, oh, I've done it there, yeah, on the inner panels, before I forget that bit. So the bit where the shirting's coming up, you're going to do it on the inner panels. Actually, I wonder if my, oh yeah, they fit over. I didn't think the pegs would fit over the card, but they do. So we will do that. Because of the elastic, these are a bit harder to stick. Right, so only do a couple at a time. If we do the opposite, remember to take the red tape off. And then just a bit of glue on the back. You definitely want to get the actual corners so that it will stick well. That's the important part. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, I'm doing the opposite end so that I can put pegs on and they're not in the way of the previous pegs. Let's do that. I think that'll work better. better. Okay, so just go around and do all that. Okay, so I'm going to leave the last one because I've got to find the elastic, but you can see where it's going, same as here. Okay, so that's the big one. Changing the pegs a little bit, and then the smaller one that's going to go like that, and then you've got the really small one that is joined together already, and all you've got to do is bring them up and you get this, which is sticky paper, so you wet it, cut it up, wet it and stick it so it bonds the sides, and it's very good, it keeps it together. Before I done that, I put my middle in, so it is the pink paper with separate sides because I couldn't do it all together. But on the outside I'm going to do it green, and I'm just going to go and stick it round like that. So we are just going to put glue. I think it's easier to put it on here. We'll soon find out if I'm wrong. So it needs pulling tightly so that it doesn't warp. So what we will do, I think, is use my pegs. So you can see as it's going round, I'm trying to shape it so that it stays. My pegs aren't going to reach the bottom, so I'm going to have to use my hands for that. But you want to make sure it's straight. And as you can see, we've just got that last bit that we need to stick down. Just want to make sure that last bit sticks down well. So now we have the outside green, and that's going to go there because what I wanted was the inside to pop, so it's a different colour to the base, but the outside is the same colour. That's the way I've done it. So that is how it's going to go. Let's just make sure I'm not leaving anything else. Done the small box. Okay. Then it will be the lid. But before I do the lid, shall we put this together so it's left to dry? So these pegs aren't needed anymore. Let's just put them in there for a second. So to put it together, you are just going to glue one on top of the other, making sure it's equal distance and that each one goes in between the gap of the bigger one. So I think that's about right. So I'm going to put glue on the bottom there. This is the same as what you would do if you was doing it with material or whatever. I like to change it up a bit, that's all. I love material the best. I think it works the best with these kits. But as you can see, you can choose not to. Not too much glue. Okay, so I'm just going to put it the right way so I can make sure I'm in the middle. And then I'm going to twist. Didn't twist that very well. Okay. I think that's the best I'm going to get. And then this one is just its little bottom. There we go. I think it's all stuck down. So we get rid of the pegs. And you can see, there's your box. So I am going to put that to the side to dry. But you can see it all comes up like this. And is like an explosion box, but it's proper box, so it's reusable. So the lid comes like this. You take this out. You do the same with this that you've done with the little box. So you push all the sides up, they're together already, and just stick them together with the brown tape that you received before. Now the difference with this is with material, you wouldn't necessarily have to cut so much out the middle, because I had to cut all that out, and I done it by turning it over like that and you just using a knife and cutting round. With material you wouldn't necessarily do that. You'd make a slit and then fold it all under, because that is what we do. Now for this, because what they say you do then, you use this to stick down, and you want that there, so that when you stick down, it's going to show on the top as this with the pink around it, like that. Now it says on there, if you're doing that with the material, then you could do wadding again and have a wadded top. I guess for us, if you want it to stick out a bit more, you could do it on pads. And I'm going to try that so that you can see how it looks. The thing I didn't do was decorate the inside. It's up to you if you want to do that. I decided not to. So first things first, let's stick this piece down. So it's literally just going round all this. Now with the material, you'd have cut a piece where it will stick down the edges a little bit. So you do a rectangle, hexagon a little bit bigger, and then you would cut through, tuck under, and then stick it down a little bit, because then you would go round with a piece of material like that. So I am doing card. I am just going to stick this down. If it's not exact, again, you can fix that by doing trimmings later on. What I'm going to do now is, while I'm waiting for that to fix, probably should have given it a little bit longer. Oh, there we go, that's better. Fits a bit better that way. So you can see I took too much edge off there, but I am sure, like me, you all have tons of stuff that you can use to hide your imperfections. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the little one actually. I'm just going to glue around here. There we go, so that's in. Like that. And then you've got to decide if you want this flat. But I'm going to do just a little bit of tape. There we go. So it's like that. So it's gone in a little bit, but it is actually even with it rather than dipped. Okay, so the next thing is the strips for here, which I've done pink this time. So it's the same thing as we done for the small box, but obviously we got a bigger space. So there we have it covered, but as you can see, it's not very tidy. If you'd used material, it'll be a lot tidier, obviously, which is what, that's the benefits of using the material. But it didn't go down very well. There are ways, as I've said, to cover that up. So I have so many bits and pieces, and I'm sure you do have. You can use flake or glitter, go around it in tape and put glitter on, or the wands, or then you can go to your pearls, your ribbons. There's just so many different things you can use. I mean, I've got boxes of stuff like this that I think would go nicely round it, like these. I think I got all this stuff from Pinflair actually, one of the craft sales. But as you can see, if you put that on, it's going to take away from the fact that you left it a bit messy. It will hide all that, and you can do that. What else is there? There's so many things here, it's ridiculous. And this is only one box. I've got about 3 boxes of this. You know, little flowers that will go round. And they'll actually turn as well, so that's even better. So you've got all sorts that you can use. Even just beads that are obviously not that colour. But then there's just ribbons that you can put round. So, you know, there are so many ways that you can tidy that up and finish it off. Peel-offs. I mean, peel-offs used to be the thing to go to. I've still got mine and I still get them. I think Pinflair does them actually still. Well, they used to. I got my last lot from there, so I'm hoping they still do. So, that is the box. If you want to do the inside of the lid, you can do. I've left mine. So what happens now is, obviously, you fill it. And then it all comes up. It won't bend in like this because it'll have stuff on it, so it's not. It'll all come up like that, and then the lid goes over the top. Let me just tuck that one in so that it can't come apart, and there is your box. This is going to be so handy. I mean, I know it's for sewing, but because I don't sew, but I loved the box, I wanted to show you the other things you can do. So I hope that did help you. And then you open it and it comes apart. I love it. And actually, I love the colours I've chosen. This is card I got from Pinflair as well. So that was just coincidence, but yeah. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'd love to see all your designs. Okay, see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.